Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another challenge video. Today, I'm gonna see if I can beat Terraria using wands only. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, to start off this video, I chopped down some trees for some wood. I was exploring a cave and then I stumbled upon a skeleton merchant, so I bought a couple of bombs from him that I will use later on. I got back home and placed some chests down to start storing my stuff away. Afterwards, I went down the jungle and found some life crystals as well as some accessories. I was very lucky to be able to find two sky islands side by side to each other without having to use a gravitation potion. Inside the chests, I found a red balloon and fledgling wings. Now with the bombs, I went to the corruption and broke some shadow orbs to get my first weapon, the File Thorn. And what makes this weapon so good is that it can hit enemies through walls. I returned home and built some houses for some NPCs. And then I went back to the jungle and found some more life crystals to increase my health. Now that I had a good amount of health, I summoned the Eye of Cthulhu. This fight took quite long because I kept running out of mana and I had to wait for it to recharge. After the Eye of Cthulhu, I went straight to the corruption and summoned the Eater of Worlds. And this weapon is particularly really strong for this boss since the projectiles lingers for a few seconds before disappearing. I killed the Eater of Worlds one more time and then I went to the dungeon and summoned Skeletron. So pretty much all these boss fights are gonna take a really long time since I'll always be running out of mana, but as soon as I get my hands on the mana flower, then it's gonna be a lot faster. Down in the dungeon, I found my next set of weapons, the Aqua Scepter and the Magic Missile. I stayed down there until I was able to find the Cobalt Shield. I teleported back home and started mining towards hell. While I was doing that, I found my last few life crystals needed to get 400 health. After finally making it to hell, I started opening as many shadow chests that I could find, until I was able to find the Flower of Fire. I built a bridge across the lava, and when I was done, I summoned the Wall of Flesh. I used the Aqua Scepter first to get rid of the Hungries, and then I switched over to the Flower of Fire. After defeating the Wall of Flesh, I went down the corruption and broke some demon altars to spawn in the hard mode ores. I mined some cobalt ore first, then orichalcum, and then finally titanium. After I mined enough titanium, I made the full armor set, which gave me a lot more mana. Now that I'm in hard mode, I definitely need better weapons. So I mined some meteorite and crafted the meteor staff. This weapon does use a lot of mana, so I have to be sure to aim it properly. I'm also gonna need a weapon to use underground, so I made the Sky Fracture using the Magic Missile, 16 Souls of Light, and 2 Light Shards. After the Blood Moon, there was a Goblin army, but I took care of that pretty quickly. Afterwards, I went down underground and found the Wizard as well as the Goblin Tinkerer. I needed some better wings, so I went up to the Sky Island and killed some wyverns for some Souls of Light, and I ended up making demon wings. When night arrived, I summoned the Destroyer. And now that I had some mana potions from the wizard, I was able to keep using my weapon non-stop, but it was a bit awkward since I had to reach over my keyboard to press the J key to drink it. After defeating the destroyer, I summoned the twins right after. Before I fought the last mechanical boss, I went to the jungle and got myself the Nature's Gift to make the mana flower that lets me drink mana potions automatically. At night, I summoned Skeleton Prime. I needed some more hollowed bars, so I killed the destroyer one more time to make the full hollowed armor set. After I made the pickaxe axe, I went down to the jungle and started mining some chlorophyte ore. I also found a couple of life fruits. Once I found Plantera's bulb, I started blowing up an area for the arena. And when I was done, I broke the bulb and started the fight. After defeating Plantera, I went down to the dungeon and farmed some ectoplasm. With the ectoplasm, I made Spectre bars and then the Spectre bars into the full Spectre armor set. I wanted a mount, so I decided to kill the Queen Slime. And with the Spectre armor set, it made killing her really fast. Before I fought Golem, I needed a better weapon, so I went back to the dungeon and killed the Necromancer for the Shadow Beam staff. Once I got back to the jungle, I found the temple and summoned Golem. After defeating Golem, I got my next weapon, the Staff of Earth, and I was actually really surprised by how good it was. I used it again to kill Golem one more time. Now it's time to fight the lunatic cultist, so I went to the dungeon and summoned him. I stood underneath him to deal as much damage as possible before having to start flying around. After defeating the boss, I started to destroy all 4 pillars, starting with the Solar, then Stardust, the Nebula, and finally Vortex. Now all that's left is to defeat Moonlord. I wasn't really sure which weapon to use for this fight, so I kinda just kept switching back and forth between the Shadow Beam Staff and the Staff of Earth. If I wanted more precise hits, then the Shadow Beam Staff is the obvious choice, but the Staff of Earth does do a lot more damage. And there we go guys, I beat Terraria using wands only. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.